Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is a very strategic politician. And William Ruto is also a very cunning politician. And if there's one thing that William Ruto is keen on, William Ruto is keen on forcing Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Masika Wetangula to fold their political parties, that is Ford Kenya and the NC Party, and merge them into UDA Party. And William Ruto is going to have his way. But the question which most Kenyans are asking is, why is William Ruto trying to force Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula to fold their political parties to join UDA Party? I want to reveal to you guys the details which is going to shock you. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find in any other place. So the best thing you can do is to subscribe so that next time we produce a video, YouTube will automatically notify you, because I know so many of you guys are watching the videos but are not yet subscribed. Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto is going to force Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula to fold their political parties. I want you guys to take that to the bank. William Ruto invited Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Masika Wetangula, and their allies to a meeting at State House in Nairobi. And when they arrived, William Ruto went straight to his point, because they were invited to talk about the state of economies, use some promises which William Ruto had made to the region. But when they arrived and William Ruto settled for the meeting, William Ruto went straight to his point. And this point was simple: a request to them to fold their political parties and then make a declaration before Madaraka Day. Both Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula refused. According to sources which attended the meeting, Wetangula even lectured William Ruto over the activities of George Natembeya. So William Ruto did not go further, but he left them with one instruction: to start using some of their members to test the waters. I can report to you guys today that Musalia Mudavadi has already caved in and has agreed and appointed a team to join UDA Party in formulating that merger process. Moses Masika Wetangula is not in the box yet, because according to Wetangula, Ford Kenya is one of the longest political parties in the Republic of Kenya after KANU, and therefore it would not be good for him to fold Ford Kenya. So he's still saying to Ruto, no. But I'm not sure how long he's going to sustain it. But for Musalia Mudavadi, he's already agreed, and the NC Party is not going to exist. But the question is, why is Ruto keen on pushing Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula to fold their political parties? And not just fold, he wants them to join UDA Party.
NC will be a very important party, and that's why we shall not fold the party. Sababu, this is the other baseline ambayo ita accommodate any other candidate hapa na pale. And we shall also be shopping for the best candidates. Let them not think of closing or folding ANC, but they should be thinking of the president vying on ANC. Kwa sababu mimi nilisema nafuata mheshimiwa Musalia. Akisema left ni le, akisema right ni ra. Alishasema ya kwamba 2027 sisi tunaunga rais alioko urais. Lakini pia tunaomba wasitutishia kwamba ANC fu.
I know Musalia Mudavadi is going to come up with a recommendation that let us fold our parties. Let you fold UDA Party, let me also fold ANC Party, then we form a new coalition. That is not going to happen, because William Ruto is not willing to lose the identity of UDA Party, because there are regions that are already identifying with UDA as a political party. In fact, someone was telling me that Wetangula is very clear that if he were to fold his party, that was going to mark his end That was going to mark the end of his political career. So he's still contemplating, but he's not very keen on folding Ford Kenya. And if you are keen, and if you've been reading the papers of late, even as late as yesterday, there were stories in the dailies, which is true, that Musalia Mudavadi is teaming up now with Ruto to go directly to the Luhya nation. Moses Masika Wetangula is teaming up with Rigathi Gachagua. Maybe that's something we can discuss in a separate video. In this video, let us focus on why Ruto is forcing Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula to fold their political parties. The first reason why he's doing that is because of the fear of Mount Kenya. If you take your pen and a paper and you calculate the number of votes William Ruto got in the mountain, you'll be shocked. If you take your paper and a pen and calculate the number of members of parliament, number of senators, governors, William Ruto's party, UDA Party, gained in the mountain, you'll be shocked. They are even more than the numbers he got in Rift Valley. And that is his fear, that the mountain might not give him the same number of MCS he got in the last election, the same numbers of MPs he got in the last election, the same number of women rep he got in the last election. He's not sure. In fact, William Ruto is even not sure about the presidential votes from the mountain in 2027. So as part of his strategy, William Ruto is keen on ODM strongholds. He has actually failed in Nyanza, he has failed in coastal region, but William Ruto is now keen in the Luhya nation. William Ruto believes that if he were to convince Mudavadi and Weta to join UDA Party, then he'll be able to control the region, and therefore he can persuade the region that is going to leave this party, UDA Party, in their hands. And that can explain why William Ruto decided to appoint Cleophas Malala as the Secretary General of UDA Party, just to convince the Luhya nation that is their party. So he fears that the mountain might dump him. And you know how Ruto managed to win the support of Mudavadi and Weta last minute. He doesn't want to risk that he's going to leave these guys with their own political parties in the hope that wataenda naye mpaka kwa debe. No. He wants to ensure that they fold, so that as he campaign, these guys will no longer have their political parties. So they will not have any fallback strategy. So that's William Ruto for you. That's number one. Number two, politics is a game of numbers. And Ruto is keen on controlling parliament. And for William Ruto to control parliament, it means he must have a political party. And for that political party to win majority of seats, it means he must have other partners. For William Ruto to win seats in Luhya nation, he believes those who are elected on NC Party, those who are elected on Ford Kenya, those who are elected on UDA, if they can be brought together, and even some which lost, then he can actually manage to add numbers. Because his fear, just like I explained in my first point, is Mount Kenya. He fears that in 2027, Mount Kenya might not give him the number of votes he got. They might deny him the number of MPs and senators. But he wants to control parliament. What do? Look elsewhere, which is the Luhya nation. Convince Raila Odinga to go to Addis Ababa. Then Raila Odinga will not be in the picture. Then he can play around with Nyanza. Then for Luhya nation, he believes if Raila Odinga is not in the picture, then he will easily win their support. And why would William Ruto want to control parliament? Simple. Why would you want to control parliament? Simple. Which takes me to my third point. William Ruto is keen on making some constitutional amendments in the second term. And those constitutional amendments will be forced down the throat of Kenyans through parliament. In fact, if William Ruto had powers, he would try to implement some of them right now. But that cannot work. In fact, I'm on record on this platform stating that there is no way William Ruto can risk a referendum. Because if you look at the recommendations in the NADCO report, they were recommending some kind of referendum. William Ruto cannot go to a referendum in the first term because Kenyans are angry. Kenyans might actually say no to what he's saying yes to, and that's going to affect him in a very big way. So he can't agree to go to a referendum in the first term. In the second term, after securing it, because he believes he's going to secure it, he wants to push for some amendments to the constitution. Maybe the thought of 7-year term, so that we'll say, okay, these are now under new constitution. 5 years will not count. The 10 years will not count. He can now start one, because they're proposing, is it one term, 7 years? He can say, now I'm going for the 7-year, ile ingine old constitution. So for him to achieve that, he must have the Luhya votes. Let us just do the maths. If you go to Vihiga, you go to Kakamega, you go to Bungoma, you add all those parliamentary seats. William Ruto believes if, for example, in Bungoma, there was only one political party called UDA. In Kakamega, UDA versus ODM. In Vihiga, UDA versus ODM. In Busia, UDA versus ODM. He believes that with the help of Mudavadi and Weta, he can be able to lock out ODM party. And that's how he intends to add those numbers on his side. Constitutional amendment. Number 4, William Ruto is also keen on perception. I've always told you that politics is a perceptional game. So William Ruto wants to create that perception, because with good perception, you can always rig. If the mountain will leave Ruto, let's assume, even 30%, he won't have a chance. So which means those 30% must be covered for from somewhere elsewhere. And that's elsewhere is the Luhya nation. With Mudavadi and Weta on his side, it will be easy for Ruto to even rig and credit the win. Just like the win in Bungoma was credited to Mudavadi, to Weta, he can now credit the win in Vihiga, the win in Kakamega, to who? To the 2 former Azimio principals. And that's why I keep on telling you, William Ruto is a shrewd politician. Without Raila Odinga in the picture, nobody is going to stop him. But that's that. And lastly, the control of political parties' funds. Do you think Uhuru Kenyatta has retired from politics? I doubt. But do you think William Ruto is going to retire from politics after 2027? Assuming he's not going to initiate some constitutional amendment, or maybe if he initiates those constitutional amendments, then they are defeated. Do you think William Ruto is going to retire to Sugoi? Yeah? I'm asking you. No. There's no way. Because if Uhuru has not retired, Uhuru was born in State House, he was not a politician until Moi brought him up to now. But for Ruto, he began his politics right in the university up to now. How do you tell that kind of a person to go home and look after his kitchen, after his chicken? It can't happen. Yeah? So, Ruto is looking on how he can control the political parties' funds. You see, most of these small political parties, they survive on that political parties' funding. So, if Weta will not have his Ford Kenya, Mudavadi will not have his ANC party, they'll be under UDA. Which political funds will they claim? Which one? You will tell them no. You didn't qualify. Yeah, and they'll do nothing. And by controlling political parties fund, or by blocking them from accessing the political parties fund, it means they won't be able to move. So it will be Ruto who will be scheming. It will be Ruto now to start scheming for Ndindi Nyoro, and also to scheme for Kipchumba Murkomen, because the other day a member of parliament from Turkana told Ndindi Nyoro that ni yeye na Kipchumba Murkomen. Actually, the guy was sent to test the waters. I don't know why I've not talked about that, because I wanted to talk about it by the way. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.